Yeah, I'm making this video because basically this is my Glock build in a nutshell. It's a PSA dagger, of course. Uh, Unload it, safety check it. Always safety check a gun before you play with it. You could see the hammer was in the decocked position. There's the cocked position. And basically I started getting some haters on my little Facebook group or whatever. And, you know, it made me think about, like, what's really, like, the goal of a competition gun? It's not really, you're not looking for a look or a piece. You're looking for really slick performance. And that's what this really does bring. Quad 4 compensator, a 13-pound recoil spring, and a 3.5-pound connector. This gun pulls really light, but as you could see it pulls extremely short, which is really what we were going for really high rates of fire. But I'll show you again. So you pull it, you hit the wall, and then you fire. So it has over travel built in. It has the over travel prevention housing in it. I'll show you that. Sorry, I got to set my phone down to pull it apart. So it has over travel prevention inside the slide. It's basically just a screw that stops your crucifix from sliding any farther back. You can see everything's pretty polished. And then it has in the trigger, it's already built into it. I'm not going to show it YouTube. But then the trigger, it has already built into it to stop the pre-travel. It's a giant Glock aluminum trigger. I kind of bought the trigger because I really like the guy. Looking back, I probably would go with a Timney trigger and maybe get giant Glock modifications for it, or maybe leave it stock depending on if you plan to carry it or if you plan to shoot it. But the whole purpose of the build was to demonstrate that, hey, you could build a competition dagger. Of course, you want to take your fingernail polish and, you know, show what caliber it is on the barrel and fill in your American flag base plate on the back. Just basic black iron sights. I originally painted the front sight white and then I Sharpied over it because I was like, I like black better. The black on black sights really worked good for me. I don't think I would like fiber optics. Obviously, the next step is to get a red dot, but I mean, you know, more money, you know, whenever that actually comes forth. Not saying it won't. It's just, I don't know. I kind of wanted to learn how to shoot irons so that I could get proficient with it before I upgraded. And then really the purpose of the flashlight is to just kind of add a little bit of extra weight to the frame. I mean, obviously it has use to it, but, you know, it was more of like a competition type build anyway. It has a polished nickel striker in it, and it also has, you know, that quad 4 compensator. All that crap around the barrel is actually fingernail polish. I built it up enough to close any of the gap between the barrel and the slide to try to see if I could get more accuracy out of the gun doing it. And I would say, no, I wouldn't recommend it. I'll take some fingernail polish, I'll clean her and wipe it down eventually. But, you know, you got to experiment. You know, you got to have some fun. And that's really why I bought this gun for, was because I was like, I'm going to have a good bit of fun. Skateboard tape. There's the actual back seam. You can see the seam itself isn't straight, but it was the price you have to pay to kind of get the skateboard tape good. You see there's a little nick right there at the bottom. Overall, though, it was, yeah, just clear skateboard tape. The coloration itself was kind of bizarre. But the real purpose of this gun, you can see it actually has extended magazine, and it also has the extended slide release. So really the purpose of this gun was to actually shoot. And again, I kind of wanted to make this video because in a nutshell, yeah, I was getting posts of, well, I would shoot this gun in competition. And they pull out like a PSA dagger frame with a flared mag well, and then it has like a Zev slide and then a Zev barrel, but you can tell all the trigger components themselves are just basically in stock form. And I do have a regular stock PSA dagger that actually put a 9-pound disconnector in. This has a 3.3. Somebody said they come stock with 3.3s. I'm pretty sure they're 4.3s just because of the angle. I mean, if you change out your connector, you'll tell an instant difference in feel. Like I said, I put 8.5 in one because I wanted it to hit a really hard wall and then pull. But yeah, this one just, it's hard not to blow through it. But again, I try to rest the barrel so that you can see it. Get really close and personal. So yeah, you have your little, right there's about where your take up stops, right there. And then you see the travel. I mean, it's obviously extremely short. But that's basically in a nutshell. And then a quad 4 compensator, which works amazingly well with the 13-pound recoil spring. The gun itself, it's not unreliable. The problem I've had was light primer strikes. I've had, I think, 5 total out of maybe 500 rounds. And then finally, I just broke down and changed back out the striker spring to a stock spring, which is why I would recommend you all go with. It does have a lone wolf. I guess it's like a striker sleeve or some crap. I don't know. Anybody who knows it can put it in the comments, but it's basically a lone wolf and it's white, which is nice so you can tell if it's dirty. But yeah, if you shoot this gun against a Glock 19 like a guy at the range did last week, you'll be saying what he did, which is, the recoil is so light. It's insane. I mean, the overall gun itself shoots amazing. But anyway, I see a lot of lookers, but not a lot of shooters. I'm really into the worn down look. Yeah, you can see how dirty working man hands look. But yeah. But I would highly recommend the dagger itself. I've had no problems out of the unmodified dagger I have other than the 8-pound connector that I put in. And I think I put in an over travel stop too because I wanted an overall shorter trigger pull itself. If you know about the over travel stops, of course, always be careful when you do it. It's not exactly, it can be unsafe if you don't really know what you're doing. And usually you have to cut down your little safety ledge a little bit. So you have to, there's a lot to it. But yeah, PSA dagger, 10 out of 10, especially for price point. I want to say that the sticker of the gun, the way you see it, is like around $600-ish. Of course, that's $100 Olight on it. So, there's, or $130 Olight. So there's most of it, but just for learning to shoot, I can't recommend it enough. But anyway, that's my thoughts on what a competition dagger could be in, I guess, about 7 minutes. Thanks for your time. Like and subscribe.